Good morning, boys and girls. It is the 21st day of November, 2023, and I am here with my executive assistant, personal assistant, and adopted granddaughter, Merari Lucero Geraldo, for the version of Via Adelante, the way forward. My name is Jeff Davis, as you may be able to see down there in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. We are engaged in, that is Merari and I and all the rest of the people in the world, those who don't realize that they participating in this great movement to change the world and make it a better place. We're engaged in a project called the Green Freedom Project, which has as its mission the remediation of global warming. Yes, right. Let's diminish the amount of energy generated by the burning of fossil fuels and replace it with clean, green energy generated by solar energy harvesting technology and nuclear power, and say a little wind power too. I'm not a big fan of wind because it kills bats and birds, and I like bats and birds. I like birds more than bats, but just, generally flying wildlife, I prefer to preserve them. There's also a spot in there for reducing the carbon dioxide content of the atmosphere by capturing it, like planting trees or promoting the growth of plankton in the ocean, to absorb the carbon dioxide, photosynthesis. You understand. Now, today, and the way that we do this is we expand these carbon neutral energy sources by expanding all of the bits and pieces that are required to bring them into existence. I mean, a solar panel factory has all manner of upstream supply chain businesses. And the same thing with nuclear power, and the same thing with wind power. So in order to expand the amount of green energy generated by these sources, you have to expand the entire supply chain plus the end product factory kind of thingy. There you go. Thingy, that's a technical word. Now, to do this, you need just gigantic amounts of money because let me tell you, the energy generating business brings in $27 trillion a year in revenue. Now, you don't bring in $27 trillion a year in revenue, with a corner grocery store. You have to have a big global arrangement of energy production, coal mines, oil fields, gas fields, refineries, pipelines, tankers. And then, of course, at the end of the line, if you've gotten all of this hydrocarbon energy ready to use, you have to send it somewhere and burn it in cars and trucks and ships and planes, and in particular in power plants. And the power plants, they have these, they have boilers to burn the fuel and generate steam, and the steam goes through steam turbines. They have to have steam turbines. And the steam turbines turn electric generators, and the electric generators pump out the electricity. And so, it's like all of that infrastructure to get the energy out of the ground, and then all of the infrastructure to use it, trillions and trillions of dollars worth. It's a lot. If you're going to replace that, big big job. So in order to do that, you have to have a lot of money in order to be able to pay for all of the bits and pieces of the supply chain and the end factories. And that's where the problem came in, because the old neoliberal economic system didn't have enough money for that. Not to mention that what little money they did have, they were going to dole it out only if they were going to get, a major piece of the action. And it's all very monopolized money system intended to benefit the people with the money who would be loaning it out. And not to mention the fact that they make all that money out of thin air. So it's not really, they're not really giving you for your funding something that they had to work hard for. No. They just print it out of thin air and give it to you. And then you got to pay back out of actual productive capacity. So in order to break free from this kind of neoliberal money monopoly, based on the dollar, by the way, International Monetary Fund, World Bank, Bank of International Settlements, and the SWIFT system, in order to do that, you have to have an alternative system. And lo and behold, here comes the cryptocurrency technology mounted on the now deeply embedded and worldwide digital network we call the internet. And all of a sudden you have this opportunity for creating digital money to break the monopoly of the people who used to control all the money. And that's exactly what Via Adelante has done and intends to do and has done, in order to create that pile of money needed, big old pile of money, in order to fund the expansion of all those green energy supply chains. We issued a cryptocurrency. It's called Green. It's mounted currently, the initial version of it in software talk. It's called the 0.9 version because it's the very first version of it. Now we're going to be working up our own dedicated blockchain and dedicated wallet and dedicated market for the buying and selling of green. But for now, we've issued the first version of the currency on the Binance Smart Chain under the symbol Green Freedom, GRNFR. You might be able to find it there if you look. So that's what Via Adelante is about. I have recently been in contact, last couple of days, with my Egyptian partner, because Via Adelante has a headquarters here in Mexico, and it will have a headquarters for the Asia, Europe, Africa region in Cairo with my Egyptian partner, and bringing my Egyptian partner up to speed on the current situation regarding the adoption of this project and currency by the Egyptian authorities. Things are happening in the world, as you well know, that are changing the world that it once was, from a single unipolar US dollar-dominated world to a multipolar world. And Egypt is a newly inducted member of the BRICS community, and they're quite enthusiastic about finding an alternative monetary system so that they may escape the dollar monopoly system. And we are providing them with one of the alternative possibilities. The Green Freedom Project's alternative monetary system based on the currency green and the capital market of green currency. So that's who we are quickly, and we're working and building it up, and Mirari and I are working together here to establish certain basic little bits and pieces of the business. I'm not a conventional businessman, but the new video podcasting situation is now being employed. We're employing it right here today. We're employing in order to create the publicity necessary to get the word out to everyone who wants to participate. The way you participate, very simple. Just use it. That's Via Adelante's motto. Just use it. Get yourself some green and begin to use it and encourage others to use it as your money. And if you do that, two things happen. Number one, you get to remediate global warming. And number two, you get to invest in the energy source of the future, the green energy source of the future, and become one of the people who will receive a portion of that $27 trillion a year revenue that is currently being collected by the hydrocarbon people. And some large chunk of that will be then collected by the green freedom participants, each person collecting in proportion to the amount of green freedom that they have in their cryptocurrency wallet on their smartphone. That's the project. That's how it works. So get on board. Now, as to today's business. I think I'm going to end this portion of the presentation because it was a pleasant and rather thorough summary of our project's mission. And so I'm going to shut this down. You may contact us at via.adelante@gmail.com. We're working on our website. We're working on our own email domain. But for now, you can contact us by email if you have suggestions or if you want to help or find out more about it. We're going to use the podcasting method, and perhaps you could show up for a podcasting session for using the Zoom like we're using today, and we could have a chat about how this works and where you might find a place in it. Finally, the Mexican presidential elections are coming up, and I will be tasking my executive assistant here after we chat about how to do it to contact the current leading presidential candidate, and her name is Sra Claudia Scheinbaum, and she is the MORENA Party candidate for president. She will be taking over when elected, if elected. Let's presume that elections sometimes don't always work out the way you might hope, but we hope that she will be elected and take over for Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, otherwise known as AMLO, who is the current president of Mexico. And Sra Scheinbaum's campaign manager is the one and only Tatiana Claudia, who was instrumental in getting AMLO elected and is therefore a woman of great talent and political power and influence. And so I'd like to get in contact with Sra Scheinbaum and Sra Claudia to discuss with them the benefits for Mexico of adopting the Green Freedom Project. They are visionaries dedicated to take Mexico into the future. And the Via Adelante project has the same goal for Mexico and the rest of the world as well. So contact us if you can or care to at via.adelante@gmail.com. And we can have a little chat. Okay, that's all for today for this section. Live long and prosper. Couple of old Trekkies here. Bye-bye. See you soon.